Oh, wow. Wow. That was really, really good by TES. Okay, guys. So let's go into game 5, Fnatic versus TES. It's 2-2 now. Again, I finished kind of like the game 4 with explaining how Fnatic and TES should feel and go into it. But let's repeat here for this. So we saw that TES wants to play safe bot, strong mid top, you know, confident jungler for Karza. They want to stay away from the Graves, you know. Even though I think his Graves performance was good in the first game. And basically what they want to do is they just want to run this front to back, sustain, range playstyle. Then for Fnatic, the issue we identified is that the issue comes to mid, like getting a really comfortable pick for Nemesis, right? Keep going with the Graves, you know, it works really well for self-made, you know, and kind of try to, you know, for the solo lanes, mix it up a little bit and try to get better matchups. And for bot lane, right, just keep the same style of Healy and Reckless. Just keep the same style. Like Healy and Reckless are doing really, really awesome. Even though it's 2-2, I think they won like 4 out of 4 bot lanes so far. And just keep playing for them. Just get comfortable on mid lane. You know, strong jungler for self-made, counter pick or Graves. And then for top lane, you know, just wait it out a little bit with the top lane pick. So, as we can see, going to the best pick and ban. In terms of bans, Fnatic doesn't really have to change anything from the previous draft. Because there wasn't anything on right side that was really disturbing. So I would say keep the same Israel, you know, Syndra. There was one more ban. Yeah, and just go like with the set thing. It was like I said, the first 3 for Fnatic should stay the same. I wouldn't change that. And I think TES with the TF ban, you know, they are getting like they're enabling this to be made. So I think they have to change the TF ban to something else if they have an answer to TF. But TF would be a very comfortable pick for self-made. Sorry, not for self-made, for Nemesis. So let's see. You see this? Reckless is really focused. Healy is in a bad mood. I can see the inner smile in this guy. Who's this guy again? I think it's 369. Karza, focused. This is, I think, Yunyanya, right? Or is it Knight? Knight or Yunyanya? This is, I think, Jackie-Love. Okay, we'll see. So, set from Fnatic. I think they kind of said we got lucky with drafting on previous games. So they kind of said we're gonna ban set because I think we're not gonna be lucky again. Yeah. So Orianna again. So now I'm expecting an Ezreal ban on left side again. Because Ezreal, don't let him Ezreal. Senna, as long as you play towards bot and you get mid tower, all good. Senna is gonna do absolutely nothing. Lulu. So first there's the Leona ban from TES in game 3. Now there's a Lulu ban in game 5. I don't understand. I don't understand. So this is probably TF ban or a Graves ban. So one of those two. Graves ban, okay. This is good. This is good. Graves was the problem. Graves was a problem. I agree. Now let's see if they have an answer to TF. Sylas isn't banned, so they probably run Sylas into it. So Fnatic first pick is gonna be their TF, or it's gonna be Senna. In my opinion, I would just go with TF first pick, okay? Because Senna wasn't the issue last game. It wasn't the issue, and if we put Reckless on Senna, we have to let Nemesis and Beepo carry. And based, like, you shouldn't change your playstyle in the 5th game when your top and mid are not performing. Don't force them to perform. Don't do that. Okay? So don't go Senna. Maybe Ashe, you know? But don't go Senna. TF, they can go TF. Senna forces your mid and top to carry. Like, no, this is not good. Now they're gonna respond with Israel or Ashe, like one of those two. Based on the fact that they want to play safe, I think Israel would be better than Ashe because Ashe has to be played around, and TES acknowledge that they will play around mid and top. I love Israel here. And now they're gonna pick a jungler, I think. So Karza has to pick some. That's why they show him, right? Maybe because it's his pick turn. But Karza can go here Nidalee again. Okay. He can go, or he can go listen, if he has to pick. I wouldn't pick top lane here, and I wouldn't pick mid lane here because Orianna, Syndra are out, right? Except if Knight is comfortable in playing TF. If Knight is comfortable in playing TF, I would actually go TF here. And if Healy plays TK, Fnatic lost. And they go for comfort listen. Honestly, when I saw this the first time, I really didn't like it. I didn't really see pick and ban, but when I saw that they have listen, now that I see where they picked it, I would prefer here either a TF or I'd prefer a Nidalee slash a Nidalee. I would prefer a Nidalee actually. Maybe they're scared of because something like a Kha'Zix on left side, but Rakan. Okay, so now like Selfmade has to think about Hecarim. Okay, Hecarim, TF. Now if they decide to go TF, they will be banned out on junglers. So they need to think about that. Okay. So I think if they want to get a good, comfortable matchup, if they don't think, like, based on the fact they have Ezreal and Lee Sin, I wouldn't go for TF here. I wouldn't go for TF. Okay? I would definitely go here for something like a Hecarim. Please go for Hecarim. I mean, I know they're not gonna go Hecarim, by the way. Because I didn't see Hecarim in game 5 when I saw it play, but I would really love here Hecarim. I don't know why drop priority. It's like really good with Rakan and Senna, and you need a carry. TF can be a carry, true. But trusting in Nemesis after those 4 bad games. I think mid-lane auction would actually be interesting, but into Senna, Rakan would seem int. Because you have Israel, so you wanna play fight slow. I really like actually here the Sylas pick because it's a good matchup into TF. You have Lee Sin pressure, the kick, so TF is, has pressure, is pressured on mid lane. Later on TF when he gets Farken is actually really good into Sylas. But Sylas has 3 amazing ultimates to steal. I really like the Sylas pick here. Now they just have to save the last pick for top lane, and then 4th pick support. And just pick something that can tank for the Sylas and for the Israel. And I think right now, scaling-wise, I really like Sylas and Israel. Even though like TF again, fire cannon becomes really strong in Senna Infinity scaling. But the problem is you're not gonna get counter pick on top lane, which means TF is not gonna be able to impact top, and impacting bot is bad. So potentially, so let's see, Kindred. Kindred ban is good. I like the Kindred ban. I really like the Kindred ban. Camille ban, I think is good as well. So it actually, yeah. I don't know with this Camille. What's the thing with Camille? Like there exists so many counters. What's the thing with Camille? So they banned Sion, which is smart. So they probably can pick up Ornn here. But it's not good. They should just go support. I personally don't like Leona here. I would actually prefer the Bard here. I don't like now they're gonna go in. That's so what should we do here as Fnatic? So jungle wise, you know, you can counter Lee Sin or you can just go scaling, and I think I would go scaling. I personally would go scaling, and like I would just like honestly, I would just go hacker him. I know it's not that good into Lee Sin, but you have TF ultimate. I would really go hacker him here. Just don't go something like Evelyn. GP, I don't like Yumi Sion bans. You know, I don't like Sion ban and then GP. They should have banned differently then. And look at this. They pick GP into champions that have a lot of movement. I don't like that. It's gonna be very hard to hit casks. And give another ultimate. And another ultimate for Sylas. Sylas has so many good ultimates this game. If he steals GP ultimate against left side is so good. And I think, I mean, here I know they're gonna pick Vladimir. And I think this is really, really good for, this is really good for, let's let them just go into order. Okay, this Vladimir pick is actually really good because Vladimir is good into this. Now it is, into this. It is true that when TF gets Farken, he can actually force Vladimir's pull. But the fact that they have Sylas to go in, they have the Listen Kick, they have the Leona, I think they did the same strategy they did last time, right? Where they said, we're going to pick a safe bot, we're going to pick counter for top and mid. I think the coach really identified that well. And we're going to pick Listen, so a comfort for Karsa. I think the coaches identified really good. I just wouldn't pick them in this order that we mentioned. Oh, yeah, okay, so we want to talk about win conditions, right? So, top lane matchup in Vladimir's favor. There's a way, like when I saw this, I was like, Beepo knows this matchup in and out, so he probably understands what to do and how to build to actually you can pressure Vladimir if you're a very, very good GP. If you know the matchup better than the Vlad, you can actually pressure the Vlad, you know? So GP can, get out of this matchup really good. So Vladimir on paper though has the advantage. Then we have Sylas TF. Sylas has the edge. Then we have Lee Sin versus Gragas. Gragas was notoriously good against Lee Sin because he's able to cancel out everything Lee Sin does. And then we have Senna Rakan against Ezreal Leona, and this is kind of like an even lane, It's like they can't really kill each other, to be honest, So the issue here for Fnatic, I see, is that when it comes to mid and late game, the problem is that their champions just... You see this? Like, this goes in. It's the only going in tool with kind of like a TF card And then GP follows, but then Gragas ults people away. And then ults out of Senna. You know what I mean? It's like... It just feels like these champions don't work really well together. You know? If I saw here an Ornn and a Gragas, right? I would say, okay. Okay, it works well together, right? Now, I understand why they go GP, because they need a carry, because Reckless went Senna, and this is why. This is, like, the whole pick and ban after is so relying on what they picked here, and that's why I didn't like the Senna first pick. I would rather that Jakilov picked the Senna, and if they had this champions against Senna, not Israel, I would say Fnatic is, you know, in a very, very, very good position. So, what Gragas wants to do is, in this, if Bipo knows the matchup, Gragas will probably play around mid-top. He has to protect mid lane, definitely. He has to protect mid into top, okay? And then, when top lane is fine, when, you know, he gets Sex Drinker and stuff, then they start pressuring around bot, you know? And then when they go 1-3-1, it's all about GP ulti, TF ulti, on the mid lane engage from this. The issue we have is, like we said before, they have pool, they have the jump, they have the jump, they have the jump. Who are they going to catch with those ultimates? And that's the problem. That's where I think TES actually, you know, has very, very good champions against this comp. And only in a 5v5 is where it will really showcase, can these guys play together, but they don't have a front line. Which means that Silas can just go in with Leona, and Fnatic can't really do much. Senna's gonna get 0 peel. So, okay, first path, right? What should happen? So Listen wants to play, he could, like, this game, he can play around both lanes. I love the cleanse from Jackie. This is a mistake I flamed so much in game 1 when he went TP. And now I see cleanse and I feel so much more comfortable. I love it. So Listen wants to play, I think he can play around all lanes. I think early on he should look to, like, invade and pressure Gragas in the jungle based on where he starts. And basically play through mid lane, right, into the side lanes. And on which side lane he plays, it's kind of like irrelevant. I would rather play on this side for Vladimir, because with Silas and Listen, we can dive Vladimir very, very easily. Very, very easily. Okay? So, what I would do, if I would be Listen, he's probably going to go for free camps into Gragas. Now, I don't really know where Gragas wants to start. Let's see where Gragas wants to start before we decide what Listen does. So, Gragas wants to play around mid as well, because TF is going to try to push. He's going to have push bot lane. So he wants to end up the path bot side. So I think the best path would be loop de loop here. I think he wants to end up bot side and protect mid lane from bot, and then together with Rakan. Yeah, I think Gragas wants to go like this. Tuck. Now Gragas is notoriously really good at taking raptors, so people might disagree with my path here towards bot lane. Maybe he can do like this. Sorry, this. Right? I don't know. But I think, Listen, based on the fact the Gragas should do this. But if you looked at all 4 games, Selfmade almost always started blue on blue side, right? Which means even on red side he started blue. So I think what Karza can do is he can go camp, suck. But he doesn't have mid and top pressure. So, mid and bot pressure. So, okay, so Karza's probably gonna clear his jungle fully, like red Crux Raptors. And Selfmade is gonna start top and path bot side, based on the fact what they did previous games. Okay, Listen's gonna start blue. He wants to play around top. I don't think he should play around top lane. Like, Vladimir GP matchup doesn't work like that. Gragas starts red. I agree with that. I don't agree with Listen starting blue. Now they know that you see this mana usage by Ezreal. You see this mana usage by Leona. They know that they leashed for Lee Sin. So Gragas knows that Lee Sin got a leash. So I would definitely do loop-de-loop here. I would definitely do loop-de-loop here. Because Lee Sin's gonna path to top side. And we don't have to protect from early dives like GP. He's completely fine. And we're able to now, if we go into top side with Krugs, Raptors suck, and Lee Sin goes for a Red into now invade into Gragas side, I think Lee Sin could get an advantage. So I really don't like this adaptation by Selfmade. So Fnatic is letting TES push. So that indicates that Gragas is going to be top a lot of time. Sorry for that, guys. Okay. So this is super smart by Karza in terms of a surprise force the flash, because he knows he's playing against a Gragas, and a Gragas cannot punish. And this is what really good Lee Sins do. They either tackle the lanes or they attack the jungle. And he decided to attack the lane, and here he basically forces a flash. And here Nemesis flashes, and it's fine. He lost flash. Okay? He lost flash, and it's fine. But look at this. You see this? Nemesis is completely out. Like, his complete mental boom. You know? Like, this is just... He flashed after. Like... That's why I don't like Reckless on Senna. And this is why I said, you know, that there's a very low chance Nemesis and Beepo are gonna carry this game based on the performances of the previous 4. And it starts like this. And going through mid with Karza was amazing. I really like this play by Karza. Okay, so we go this. And he's gonna go for Crab now. So Karza's gonna go for bot Crab. Bot lane is getting pushed in, which is fine. And now bot lane from Fnatic should let the wave crash and then go for the push to be able to secure... Actually, I'm trolling. They should just freeze them. Ignore what I just said. I was thinking Gragas is gonna come bot, but I'm trolling. Gragas should... Yeah, Fnatic should just freeze the wave here. Ooh. Nice. Oh, that wasn't good. That level 3 really hurt them. That was a good bait by Healy, but it's just the level 3 that messed it up. I really don't like when junglers do crab into the camps, because what that does, it messes your respawn times of the camps. Okay? And another thing that it does, it enables the enemies to potentially get invaded. Okay? So, based on this fact, you know, he could potentially get invaded. But I understand he wants to get level 4. So based on the bot lane state, Gragas has to now path bot. Yeah, I would rather Gragas would have taken their Grump instead of Wolves because of what's gonna happen now, you know? So Gragas should here protect bot. And bot should push out in base. Ooh, Nemesis is in a very, very vulnerable state right now. So now the issue here is for Fnatic, there's two lanes that need assistance. Bot lane needs assistance to shove it out, and mid lane needs assistance to shove it out. Okay? So, yeah. Gragas should probably go based on the fact Fnatic is freezing again, because TES is like stupidly just pushing in, not managing the waves properly. And I think Fnatic is winning out on it again. Then Gragas can protect the F on mid lane. Beepo is playing this matchup pretty good. He already got the base timing off. Beepo is really, really good position in this lane. I don't like what Karza is doing. He's late again. This is also something that happened with Karza. In terms of decisions, what paths to take, I think Karza is very creative and can surprise people, but at the same time, like in terms of maximizing the amount of gold and stuff, I think that's why Lee Sin suits him so much, because Lee Sin doesn't get punished that much for taking these paths, right? You know, but if he would play stuff like Graves, Hecarim, you know, even Nidalee, then he would potentially fall behind. And I think probably in that Nidalee game, he just, because he got so many kills, he was fine in the game. But if he doesn't, I don't know. Doesn't work out that way. Come on, self-mate. Take the jungle camps. Oh, good job, good job. Kill. Suck. If anybody says this is like, this is something really good Gragas do, okay? So what he did here, guys, look at this. Like Vladimir, there's no way Vladimir. If Vladimir pulls early, then Selfmade waits till he comes out of pool, and then E flashes and he's dead. If Vladimir, the only way for Vladimir to escape this is when Selfmade does the E, he can flash, right? Okay, but what Selfmade did is he immediately, when the E started, he flashed, so he gave Vladimir no reaction time. Okay, so this is super good play by Selfmade. This is super good by Selfmade. This helps people lane so much because he gets TP advantage. What I don't like though, is based on the fact he has a pink ward there here, he should know that, you know, Lee Sin is on Drake and he should be taking his camps. Of course there's enough damage to do 200 damage. Ay. Casters. In all honesty, I just hope... honestly, I don't like Ender, so I hope Ender is not gonna cast G2 versus Dongwon. It was almost impossible to react. That was really good by Selfmade. Really good. That's what I said, like, the bot lane from Fnatic is still doing good. Selfmade is still doing good. Beepo has now a little bit better game, even though he's not in a good matchup. But it's, you know, Nemesis is... That missed that way, the thing where he didn't flash. Maybe he wanted to bait in and wait for, you know, Q to follow him while he flashes under tower and stuns. I don't know, maybe he wanted to do that. This is another kill. Actually, this is really good by Fnatic. Fnatic should win this, but do you see how, like, Nemesis should play bot side here, not top side? Okay. Oh. Wow. Wow. That was really good by TES. You see how Gragas wasn't here on the same page? Right? You see how Gragas was like going for vision And if Selfmade communicates properly with Nemesis, Nemesis switches sides because he feels pressured here to play with Hilly while Gragas goes for this. And when Gragas comes back, if Gragas is here, this can actually turn into a triple kill for Gragas. Okay, so let's imagine that Gragas is here and he body slams this with GP ulti. I actually think Gragas can get a triple kill here. Because look at this. You see this damage? If E came in, you know, and Nemesis gets some distance because of the E, right? But they weren't on the same page. But very beautiful kick by Karsa. Very beautiful kick by Karsa. And again, you see, like, Reckless is just... Like, this is perfect what he did, you know? Like, this... Oh, my goodness, poor Reckless. Yeah, that disjoint. I agree with Ender this time. Nemesis and Selfmade just weren't on the same page. So, at this point, right, the game is pretty even, but the point is that Nemesis is getting pressured a lot, and like we said, TES should play through mid into side lanes, right? And Vladimir can be ignored actually in this lane. That's not a problem. So they should actually either dive top or they should play around bot. But now that they have mid jungle pressure, it's gonna be very difficult for Silence or Fnatic to do anything while TES is scaling. And I think TES scaling this game is insanely good. It's insanely good. It is really, really good. So Lee Sin goes top to bot. It's fine. Gragas protected the bot lane. And now with the top push, I think Karza should invade here. With Leona move, Jackie can be here alone. Karza should invade here. Don't go Herald, just go invade first. You have Leona coming. Come on. Come on. The reason why, again, I'm doing this is because based on how like the game goes, yes, the end, like Fnatic has Gragas, yes, they have TF, but right now they lose 2v2. So they have to play defensive. Okay? So what I'm blaming, like how Fnatic had advantage before, and I blamed them for not snowballing, right? And I praised really good by, you know, Hilly Roam, good kill by Gragas and stuff like that. And when I said Gragas should have went for, you know, the two camps and stuff like that, I always judge the team that has tempo. And right now, TES has a lot of tempo. And I think this Herald is int, and they should just go for the enemy jungle. And this, wow. This is Selfmade, and Nemesis just tunnel visioning on a Herald. And not keeping track what's happening on bot lane. Like, that's now the second time where TES is really on the same page together with, so Union and Karza and Knight. Really good. It's giving me hope though for G2 though, if they meet TES, because I don't think, like, based on how we're playing, like, Caps is not gonna do the same mistakes. Ooh. I don't think Karza would have died, but... So now Israel is gonna freeze on bot, so that's good for TES. But this is so bad. Like, now Nemesis lost flash again. They got a kill, you know, on Silas, I think. Yeah, so Silas is insanely strong right now. They should show bot lane to see if Israel froze. If he froze, then this is so bad for Fnatic. If Ezreal didn't freeze, then Fnatic can... Ezreal didn't freeze. TES bot lane wave management is so bad. Okay. So now what Fnatic wants to do... Like, if we pause here, TES has 2 Drakes. It's Ocean Drake. If they get Ocean Drake against left side team, again left side team lacks burst damage because it's going to be very difficult for GP to burst someone because of the fact that he has to itemize a little bit defensively against Vladimir, plus the fact that they're all mobile on this team, right? Which means that if they get Ocean Drake, it's going to be very, very difficult for Fnatic to win, which means Fnatic is probably going to have to fight the next Drake or the 4th Drake, right? Which is very early, and it's going to be on 2-item power spike of Ezreal. So they don't want to fight on 4th Drake, they want to fight on 3rd Drake because of the power spike on Ezreal. So, which means, based on items right now in the game, that's going to be very, very difficult. So what they need to do before, they need to do a play on bot lane around 15-16 minutes with TF ulti, with GP ulti, and with Gragas to be able to secure the 3rd Drake and then go from there. Okay? It's going to be difficult though because Ezreal can escape with Cleanse and E, Flash, and Leona is very hard to kill. So... But they should be planning a bot lane play now. I think this is smart by Karza. And now they go away. Good. And now Karza should go for a mid play. And they should punish Nemesis no flash into a Herald. Okay, they see Gragas stop. This is insane. So they should dive mid with... listen. Leona should go mid. So this is a completely butchered play by TES. So when the moment Gragas shows stop, Leona should start moving. Listen should get ready. And they should dive on this. Even if Gragas comes, they kill TF. They pop Herald mid. Mid lane tower falls. You know, or gets to one plate, the game's over. Yeah. So Leona is slow on this. If Leona is on this, Nemesis cannot do this. A very big missed opportunity for TES. Jackie Love gets a lot from this. Wow, this is a mind game outplay. Did you guys see this? So I'm telling that they could go on Nemesis here. But the moment this is over, bot lane from Fnatic shouldn't go to help Nemesis mid. They should stay bot, right? And they should play with TF ultimate. Okay? By them moving, what happens now is that the TES acknowledges that and says, Karza, come, and Leona and Karza can actually prevent them from coming to this tower with Sylas TF ultimate, right? Which means that they can get 1 or 2 plates more. It's like insanely bad maneuver now from Fnatic, and it's a very good adaptation by TES. Very good, very good. Like, this is just bot lane from Fnatic is trying to clean up the mistakes from Nemesis. If they fight here, they're gonna lose. TES is gonna win. TES is definitely gonna win. And this is so... Now it's like, who's gonna go bot? And it's such a bad state. If, for example, TF would ulti or TP bot, he would die. Ah, Ezreal got so much from this. And we talked about 2-item power spikes for the next Drake, right? If they get this 3rd Drake, Ezreal is definitely with 2 items gonna get the 4th Drake. There's no way Fnatic is gonna be able to contest this. And now this plays by, you know, Karza is actually smart how he ignores the farm and actually plays around his lanes. This is really good by Karza. So the only shining light right now for Fnatic is the fact that basically top lane is doing fine, you know. Vladimir didn't get ahead of Beepo. Oh, okay. Nemesis dies again. I like that Cars didn't take the kill. What is... Look at Jackie Love. Look at this. This is what I'm telling you guys. If this mentality comes versus G2, even Suning, like what is wrong with Jackie Love today? What is this? What is he trying to achieve? You know, Leona's away. He's trying to clear a ward. His team just made a play on bot like this. Just... Oh my goodness. Sorry for this, guys. Okay. So what is Jackie Love actually doing here? It just doesn't make sense. Okay. And now Leona is coming. Wow, Beepo gets a solo kill. Well played, Beepo. Well played. Ooh. Ooh, Jackie Love. So here, look at the disconnect between Fnatic. Look at this. Let's look at Selfmade. Just look at Selfmade. Healy is like go, go, go. Like Healy's go, go, go. You see how Selfmade looked there? Up there? He looked up there. He's like, do I go? Then he did it again. Did you guys see? He did it again. He's like, okay, no, come, come, come. Healy's like, come, come, come. Then he stepped back the third time. Okay. Did you guys see? Selfmade 3 times doubted Healy sank play. And I think if he didn't, Jackie would actually die here. I think Jackie hardened it here. And I think Fnatic should have punished this. And I think Healy's call was correct to punish what Jackie was doing. It's just Selfmade didn't commit with him. And based on the fact that Healy is playing really well, I would follow him. I think I would follow him. Yeah, he was running it down, Jackie Love there. Jackie Love is playing really, really bad in this series. Really bad. Beepo gets a solo kill, that's awesome. But as we can see again, right? Knight is doing good. Cars is doing good. Okay. And I think, in all honesty, Beepo knows more about GP than 369 does about Vladimir. And this is important information for G2 or Suning. Well played by Beepo, really well played. We can say that the self-made gank into losing TP is important, but... Okay. Miffy is like already, you know, like this is looking really bad. I think Miffy knew after fourth game. He knew what's gonna happen this game. And I think the problems that Fnatic is showing here with... I'm gonna talk about all the problems later. Let's watch the game. So here, let's look at this. Let's look at this. IG Jackie Love, look at this. Look at this. He just eased in without flash cleanse. Just int. And Healy goes and finds another. He punishes mistake. Healy knows when someone ints so well. Really good. Really good punish by Healy. Really good punish by Healy. Like I said many times, Healy and Reckless are playing this series really, really good. Really good. And then here, because of this int by Jackie Love, Fnatic actually gets this Drake, and this Drake is huge. Because I told you guys, the next Drake, Jackie Love is going to have 2 items. There is absolutely no way I think that TES loses the fight at 21 minutes with the power spikes. I think it's absolutely no chance. Now, that would mean Soul normally, but because Fnatic gets this Drake, that doesn't happen. Okay? Now, as we can see here, Jackie has even now to, like, there should be no way if he doesn't run it down that TES loses this Drake. Those were 4 Drakes. That was game for TES, and now Jackie gave them the chance to come back. Look at this E. This is just, and this no hesitation here, like, love it. I love it. I love it. Ooh. Knight almost outplayed both of them. Use the Herald. Good. Now what Fnatic needs to do is needs to do the same thing. They need to let JackeyLove int. But when JackeyLove gets upgraded Manamune to Muramana, there's no way TES loses a fight till Reckless gets about 4 items. Even then it's gonna be hard because when, you know, Israel gets Dev's Dance, he's even stronger. So it's not gonna get better till like 4 or 5 items, and then you are troubled with Vladimir. So I'm telling you guys that it's like, yes, it's like, yes, they delayed the 4 Drake, they gave them some of a chance, but like I said, when I was first watching this game, I said the power spike that Fnatic needs is Fire Cannon TF, and need to then kite, let Senna scale, zone with, and GP plays peel zone, and you play with TF stun card into Senna W, okay? And that's how you can kind of play team fights. But it's going to be very difficult in the next 10 minutes to get Fire Cannon, you know? And this is the point where I said, now Israel has push mid, right? Israel has push mid, and Senna without a tower is really goddamn useless. And when people realize this, when they pick that early stuff and get a Herald and get mid tower, and then Senna gets swapped into mid, Senna is the most useless champion you can have. We did it so many times, it scrims. It's just like my AD carry always, you know, said like, I just can't clear waves. It's so hard, and you can never get pressure. Okay. So now we can see already Fnatic face is very grim because they know. They know it's not looking good. Nothing should really happen till next Drake, so let's skip it a little bit. They should just, like, it's just a pushing game, you know? Like, you need to understand that the right side, even though they have Leona, they don't have enough setup to actually make a play, and Fnatic is not just gonna go into the jungle and int, right? So Fnatic just will place defensive vision, TES is gonna clear some vision, place their own offensive vision. They're just gonna be pushing lanes, push, move, push, move. So there's nothing much to check out. Till Drake. And this Drake, Fnatic should never fight. They should never fight this Drake. Never. Okay. So look at this. This is something the TES really needs to practice. They need to practice how to play around Drakes. Like, this is horrible. Why do you TP early? Okay, why do you do that? Well, you don't have to, you know? You don't have to do that. Look, here, Israel pushes mid, you know, Leona backs him up, Lee Sin backs him up, you know, then Vladimir goes top side, Knight goes bot side, he doesn't even have to TP. Shove this in, get vision, suck, pull the Drake out, Lee Sin solos the Drake. It's so simple, but, you know, like, and protect this in entrance. It's so simple to do that against Fnatic champions. And TES can look for so many good flanks. They have such a huge power spike on Israel, like 2 items. You know, Silas 2 items, Zonia's, like, they're so strong. Why are we wasting resources like this TP? Just doesn't make sense. And I'll just don't let him through this. JackeyLove, you see this? I hate what JackeyLove just did. You know? Why? Because he lost mid lane push. That's why. He should have just pushed mid. I think the Drake setups from TES are ridiculously horrible. If any team watches this, like G2, if you're watching this, you know, Sunning, if you're watching this, like, please punish how TES is doing Drakes. It's horrible. And what Fnatic does, they should give this Drake up because they cannot win the fight right now. They just can't. Yunyanya, really, really good position. I was just missing a TP flank from Vladimir here into the backline. And I think Fnatic gets ace, they lose Baron and the game is over. They still, Yunyanya tries to go in. Beepo goes alone. There's no reason to go in anyway. Like, they just walked in without a front line. I was talking about this before, and, you know, Fnatic is just gonna win this hard. Look at this from Fnatic. Look. What is the thought process here? If we look at vision, look, they have no vision. No idea this is going on. Why are you face checking? Let's say Leona is here. Let's say there's a ward here because you didn't clear and because, you know, Leona was walking around here before. And Vladimir TP is behind you. How do you contest this without a front line? And this is just desperation. This is the moment where I was like, okay, Fnatic completely gave up. But the thing is, in the series, they contested Drakes like this all the time. And I think the play around Drakes from both teams is just not acceptable for this level of play. I really am interested how G2 and Dongwon play. Like, I'm gonna watch G2 series next and see if they perform better. If they perform better, I'm gonna say Dongwon versus G2 is gonna be the finals, the unofficial finals, because I really think TES is playing the series poorly. Maybe it's just Jackie Love having, you know, a bad day or something like that, but I think based on what I saw the first game from G2, you know, and the fact that they 3-0 Genji, I need to check, but I don't think TES is playing well. And I think Fnatic is also playing like, you know, I think bot lane from Fnatic is playing awesome. I think Selfmade had some good performances, but I think Nemesis, you know, played 5 games bad and Beepo played 4 of the 5 games bad. Or let's say this game he plays good, and previous game he played okay, you know, with Ornn. Yeah, he played 3 games bad. So now, in my opinion, based on the fact that they have Vladimir scaling, based on the fact that they have Silas, they have Israel. Like, Israel right now, you guys need to understand, is unkillable. Unkillable. Just go 1-3-1, pressure the towers, get out through once, reset, buy, play for 4 Drake. Get 4 Drake, Ezreal is unkillable, Vladimir is unkillable, the game's over. Senna should get Executioners to prepare for Ocean Drake. Ooh. They're gonna go in. Oh, okay. I really thought TES is gonna engage there. It was a very good opportunity. And the place that Fnatic is looking is just, I don't think that it makes sense. Ugh, what is Jackie Love doing? Look at this int again. Did you guys see what he did again? Like, now Fnatic missed stuff, that's why he survived. But I really don't like what Jackie Love just did. But they're gonna win. Fnatic, TES is gonna win here. But because they wasted so much time, now Fnatic is gonna heal, and TES is not gonna be able to take more than they could. So I don't think this was worth for TS as well, at all. I think they're just losing Baron. He wasted both stuns, Jackie Love. Like, look at this guy. Now this was actually good. Okay, let's look at the difference between the previous one and this one. So the previous one, Fnatic had everything up. Rakan ultimate, Senna ultimate, stuff like that. Here, let's look at this. This, you see everything down. He has red buff. He has Ocean Drake. He has death stance, there's no way he dies. So this one is actually a very good play by Jakilov. There's no way Jakilov dies here. This is a very good play by Jakilov. Previous one was int, but this one was good. Okay, and TES just finishes the game. 3-2. So let's look at this game. Wait, are they smiling? Selfmade is smiling, Healy is smiling, Reckless is super sad, Beepo is sad, and Nemesis has the same expression all 5 games, and I just don't know what's happening behind the scenes with Fnatic, but it just felt like Selfmade and Nemesis made 0 plays, except there was 1 play with Galio and Graves on the Jace, but other than that, throughout the whole series, 0 plays together, okay? And there was no synergy. There was no synergy between top and jungle as well. And I think it was just play around bot. And I just think that solo laners, Beepo and Nemesis just played on an island. And it wasn't enough, you know? And I think Fnatic deserved to lose this. I think Fnatic deserved to lose this. I don't think they deserved to win. I think they had, you know, for example, in Game 4, they could have won the series, but I don't think even Game 1 and Game 2, you know, I think TES just played worse. And I think overall, TES showed big weakness. Like, TES played horrible themselves. You know? They played horrible themselves, and they were lucky Fnatic gave them the wins, you know? And the decisions, like, especially if I look at the performances, in this side, this guy's played really good. And Selfmade had like 2-3 games good performances as well. Beepo had like 1 game, this one, and then Warren was okay. And Selfmade, Nemesis was 0-5 in terms of performances in my eyes. Then on TES, we saw that 369 played okay. And then we have Knight, he played the most consistently good out of all of them. And then Karza, in terms of playing around the lanes, was good. But when he was dealt, like, the lanes, like, he couldn't play around lanes and he had to just jungle. Then he did a ton of mistakes. A ton of mistakes. Like the one in, I think, his first game when he went tunnel vision for this Drake with Graves at level 5. Horrible decision. Just horrible. How he lost, he invaded red and lost the whole advantage early on. Horrible. Horrible. Bot lane. I think Yunyania's roams were really good, and I think the communication between support and jungle and mid is there. Okay? Even top lane's TPs were, I think, really good. But Jakilov played like really shit. Like really shit. I would really have an extensive talk with him. And I think if this team meets G2, I haven't seen Down1 yet. I'm assuming Down1 as well. If Down1 is better than G2, then I think TES doesn't have a chance to win the title. I think that, like I said, I need to see Down1 and I need to see G2. And if they show me a performance that I can be happy about, I think that TES doesn't have a chance. I personally think TES doesn't have a chance. So I actually think, like, I like the best of 5. Like, when I was first watching the 3rd, 4th, and 5th game, without analyzing it, I was really enjoying it. It was really, like, it was enjoyable to watch because it was actually happening. Now that I watched it from a perspective how good the teams are, I'm pretty disappointed, to be honest. I'm pretty disappointed. And based on the fact that it was the best of 5, I thought it was actually a better series. But when you look at closer, a lot of the decisions, and there were, don't get me wrong, there were some good plays, but if TES, for example, would win World Championship with performances like this when they don't know how to play around Drakes, you know, I would feel pretty sad about Season 10 then. I would feel pretty sad. So, guys, honestly, I really enjoy though reviewing these games for you guys. I think there's a lot of good information to take away. There's a lot of good information about understanding the teams, and most of the reviews I'm gonna do, my takeaway will always be more on the psychological. How do the coaches tendencies and stuff like that, rather than just items, champions. You know, I'm actually gonna talk more about the humans and the players themselves, and the champions, rather than the the items, the plays. Because I think in a best of 5, what's important is to see how the flow went, and how the flow went was first game. I felt TES should win the game, but they played really bad and showed it, even though they had a huge advantage early. Second game, Fnatic dominated. I think Fnatic deserved second game win, and they had a better comp by far. Okay. Then third game, Fnatic completely went just mind boom, and there was inting moments from Selfmade, inting moments from Nemesis. Beeple died 1-on-1. It's like third game was really bad and Fnatic ran it down, and TES deserved to win. Fourth game, Fnatic had to win, but they don't know how to close out with Herald and what the point is about Senna and how to snowball the vision and how to play around the Drakes and stuff like that. And they started trolling, in my opinion. They lost the focus. They're having too much fun. They thought the game was over, serious is over, and they weren't serious enough, and they showed it, okay? And then fifth game, I think Fnatic just didn't have the chance, because I feel like based on the 4 games prior, their adaptation to the fifth game was really, really bad, because they gave Senna to Reckless, even though bot lane was the best performing lane, and they had to then pick carries for mid and top, and top lane performed good. Beeple performed good, but Nemesis just couldn't do anything, And then Reckless just didn't have a front line. He couldn't do damage. He couldn't get the infinitive scaling. And the enemies just destroyed them. Okay? So, overall, I would say, a very common best of 5 games, A very common how it went. And I think it was expected for TES to win game 3 because of how Fnatic plays, but I think Fnatic should have 3-1 this. If we look a step back, then I think TES should have been... It should have been 1-1 after 2 games, and then the series would look completely different. If it would go normal, if I think teams would play normal. And I think, honestly, I will give a shout out to Reckless and Hylissang. They played phenomenally well. I think even Selfmade played pretty good. But I think Beepo and Nemesis, I don't remember the last Worlds that well. But they just underperformed. And I think Beepo is... I love Beepo. I love the guy. He's so smart, so good, so funny, he's critical, he wants to be the best. But I don't know what's happening with him. I hope someday I can talk with him, how he's thinking, what his thought process in this moment, because a lot of times I see him in these clutch moments underperform. And in Nemesis, I think this was one of the worst series I see him play in a... I mean, I haven't really followed Summer Split that much, but Nemesis played this series bad. Really bad. Okay? And hopefully everything's okay with him in real life and stuff like that. So there's nothing wrong there. But something has to be happening with the Fnatic team. And I don't see bot lane getting switched out. I think Hilly and Reckless played phenomenally well. And I don't know what's going to happen with, the top, mid, and jungle, though, for Spring Split next year. TES, though, I don't think they showed this series a performance that would deserve a world championship. I don't think so. I don't see what the hype is about. I love Knight. I know how Knight plays. I think it's really good. I love how Karza plays around the lanes. I really don't like how Jekyllov plays. I think he doesn't... Like, in this series, in my opinion, he showed that he doesn't deserve to be on the team. And I think Yunyanya was kind of like the guy that was in lane, but when he wasn't in lane with Jekyllov, Yunyanya actually played really well. And I think 369, carry-wise on Vladimir, not that good, but tank-wise on Sion, really, really good performance. Okay, so guys, those were the 5 games. Now you know more about the Fnatic players, more about TES players, and I think this will give you a really good insight into what to expect going forward. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, watch my stream. You can support me if you want to. I would really appreciate it, because it makes this making this content easier. And if you like it, press the like. If you dislike it, please click dislike and tell me why you didn't like, and any discussions you want to have with me about the games, any thoughts, I would really love to, discuss this in comments with you guys. So hit me up and show me what you got. So guys, other than that, thank you for being with me in the series. And unfortunately, the second best EU team just got kicked out of Worlds. So I'm gonna go into G2 versus Genji next, and hopefully I can see a very, very good performance that would give me confidence for G2 to win Worlds this year. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.